Awesome sauce? Not sure yet, so we'll find out in a few seconds. Trying to open up my YouTube right here so I can check and see what's what. So give me one moment before I start. Hope you guys are enjoying your day. If you're here, if you're not here, then that's fine too. Oh wow, looks like there's 6 people watching. Awesome sauce, awesome sauce. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I got a new microphone. Thank you for everybody that's gotten a consultation. So I'm gonna wait until some people will come in. If you can hear me, please let me know in the chat so I can make sure that this is actually set up correctly. But yeah, I'm only slightly freaking out. Oh, you're freaking out, Storm Rave. Don't freak out, man. We hear you loud and clear, Soldier. Awesome sauce, Lavender Mike, cool beans. All right, so first off, let me just say thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. I have been wanting to do this pretty much all day, or thinking about it anyway. There are a lot of people that keep on sending me links for their comic, and I'm very excited. I'm glad that people will like this show. Hopefully I can grow this channel a little bit more. I want to give more advice to people about their comic, as well as also sell more of these 4-step guides. So hopefully you guys will buy that. It's $5, 40 pages, a bunch of tips and tricks that I've been putting together from my 10-year plus long career of drawing comics. So everybody out there that wants to draw comics, or want to have a starting point at least, definitely go check that out. Also, another cool thing, my book, Volume 3 of Hammer, came out. I'm super excited for this book. I actually am finishing up everything for Volume 4 right now. There's a few more little updates I need to make, and but the deadline for that is, I think, in the next 15 days roughly. So I've been very, very busy, but because I've been doing the show, I've been able to take this long live stream and break it up into all these small videos, so that way I can put out a video every single day. So everybody out there that has not caught any of the lives from last week or the week before, you can either look at the individual videos where it's just me reading that particular comic, or you can look at those lives. All of these should be in the description below, all the links and stuff. But yeah, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, I want to talk about my consultations. I still have 5 left for the $75 price point. It's going to go up after that. So everybody out there that wants to talk to me for an hour and get a lot of information, privately, as opposed to just sending me your comic and waiting in line for weeks for me to talk about it. I mean, if you would like to talk to me privately and ask me any questions or anything like that, then, there's that $75 1-hour consultation. Or if you want to buy the $50 consultation, that's 30 minutes. But yeah, that's also available. That should, I believe, be inside the link below. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh man. What else is going on? Obviously we have a bunch of, books coming out for Saturday AM. In case you guys can't see this from behind me. There's Volume 1, 2, and 3 of Hammer. There's How to Draw Diverse Manga. There's also Annual 2023, Gunhild, Oblivion Rouge, Yellow Stringer, Apple Black 1 and 2, Clock Striker, Massively Multiplayer World of Ghosts, Saigami, and Titan King. All of these are currently available, except for Gunhild. I believe Gunhild comes out next month. But we have a bunch of other titles coming out. Apple Black Volume 3 comes out in May. Volume 4, which they just started to announce, that comes out when Volume 4 of Hammer comes out, which, by the way, is also when my other book, the Rick and Morty manga, that comes out around the same time. But yeah, we at Saturday AM have a lot of stuff coming out, so everybody out there that just wants to check out some new, manga, then definitely, check us out. The link should be down below. If not down below, then they should be inside of my YouTube bio or something. But it's Saturday-am.com. You guys can check out all of the series that we have. I'm actually going to be reading one of the series from the Saturday AM umbrella. We have another website called Pilot Manga, and that website is basically a lot of web comics from previous people that have helped us out in the past, or who have been inside of either March of Madness or Summer of Manga. And yeah, there are a lot of different artists inside of Pilot Manga. So I'll be reading one of them today. I might read more in the future. I've actually wanted to make an episode about that. So for everybody that's in Pilot Manga that wants to send me something, you can do that right now, and you can, I can read it now as opposed to waiting until like the next, time I actually get into that. But, that's basically what's going on. I'm about to jump into reading the comics real quick. But before I do that, I want to look at your comments and see if there's anything. I also wanted to bring up that one question. I asked this earlier today inside of my Instagram Live. So everybody out there that is not following me, please do so at Jeyodin on Instagram or Twitter. I didn't ask this on Twitter, but on Instagram I asked it. If you had a superpower, and this superpower was basically you never had to go to the bathroom unless you were right next to a bathroom. You would never have to go to the bathroom. Like you could be in the desert for years and never go to the restroom ever. But once you get out of the desert and you get like within, 10 feet of a bathroom, like you immediately have to go to the bathroom. Like, would you like that superpower? Like I was thinking about this randomly. I was walking my dog and I had to go and I was like, man, if only. So, I thought that would be a really cool but really strange superpower, and I want to know what you guys thought. So I figured, you guys can let me know what you think inside the, comments. I believe that there might be some inside of the Instagram as well, so I might read them later on in the show. But, let me read this real quick, and then we're gonna, start reading the first comic, which is R. Excalibur. We're gonna be reading that from Stormrave 92. Then after that comic, we're gonna read Boneyard from Ricardo Antonio. And the last comic that we're gonna be reading is called Bam, the Last Hero on Earth. And that is from Rojo Kova. So stay tuned, and let's do this. This is the first comment. Let me read. Hold on. All right. You all hear me from the microphone, so that's awesome. Hey, yeah, glad to be here with all of you. Thank you very much again for everybody watching. It looks like there's 11 people watching here. So if you haven't already liked this video, please do so. It helps out with the algorithm. I'm trying to grow my channel, and I feel like if everybody likes it, hopefully it'll be recommended to more people who like this type of content, and then, I can just grow slowly. There's a lot of other skits actually that I'm planning, and I can't wait to actually do them, but I'm trying to finish up Volume 4, so that's the reason why I haven't been able to do a lot of social media stuff. But there's a lot that I've, prepped, so, definitely get ready for a lot of, art dumps and stuff like that coming up soon. All right, glad to be here with all of you. Thank you very much. How are you guys tonight? I am doing pretty well. I hope you guys are all doing well in the chat. Happy St. Patty's Day. Today is actually also Stud Hammer's birthday. I talked about this inside the post, but I believe I came up with this series actually around this time in 2011. I was at customer service, and I'm pretty sure it was around St. Patty's Day. But I always thought that it would be cool to have St. Patty's Day be Stud's, birthday. One of the main reasons is because he's wearing green all the time, so I always thought that'd be, just a cool little, thing. But also, I don't know, I always thought it would just be, really cool. I had a teacher that her birthday was on St. Patty's Day, and, she always had an eventful birthday. So I was like, you know what? I think it'd be really cool to, maybe in the future draw a lot of, parades and stuff, and have, Stud, in the middle, or, just hanging out with a bunch of Saturday AM folks and stuff. I thought that'd be really cool. So, that was one idea that I had in mind. And I feel like that's probably why his birthday is St. Patrick's Day. But, I thought that was really cool. So, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I just started reading chapter 1 a couple days ago. I've been busy from work, but best believe I'll catch up. I'm not sure exactly what series you're talking about. If you're talking about Apple Black, because it looks like it says you and why they're knocking them books out. Yes, we are. If you're talking about Apple Black, then yeah, definitely go check it out. If you're talking about Hammer, same thing, go check it out. I believe on my YouTube channel, inside of the the banner, there's a bunch of links on the side, and one of them says Hammer. So if you press that, it'll go to the Hammer portion of the Saturday AM website, and either you can read the first 3 chapters or for free, or you can order some of the books. You can also just read our app as well. Go to our app and you can read the latest issue. I'm pretty sure Hammer was in the latest issue. The next issue that's coming out later on this month, I can't wait until you guys read that. This is a really cool chapter. I've been thinking about this chapter for a long time, so I'm really excited for that. But yeah, if you guys haven't, checked out Hammer, please do so. You can find it in your local Walmart. I believe it's in, what was it? Out of 4,000 stores, I think we're in like roughly 1,000, 800 to 1,000 stores. So, I mean, we definitely want to be in more stores, but please go check your local Walmart to see if Hammer or any of the Saturday AM books are there, because if you guys take a picture, we'll definitely share it. Just spreading the word and letting everybody know that, we exist. So, definitely go do that, show some support if you guys, want to help out. All right. What's up from the land of the surreal? Oh, hello, man. I was a guy I talked to. I read. I talked to him last week. I talked about him last week as well on the last stream. This man has a One Piece poster in the background. Let's go. This is a calendar. I got that from the CEO of Saturday AM. I went to his house earlier this year for a North Carolina event, and he gave me that. He got it from Japan, and every different month is like a different picture, and I don't know. I like it a lot. It's really, really cool. Hello. I need that power. Where do I get that? I'm not sure exactly what power you're talking about. If you're talking about drawing fast, you can start getting that power by buying the 4-step guide. I talk about, basically my process and how I, break up everything. So that way I can finish up roughly 20 pages a week if I need to. It's difficult. But like I can usually do comfortably about 11 pages a week if I'm not like doing anything else. But I think 20 pages a week is like the max that I've done so far this year. So far this year, since January 1st to now, I've finished up 124 pages. I'm not counting everything that I'm doing for Volume 4, because that would be 108 pages extra. And the majority of that was actually already like drawn from, last year. Me adding everything. So, I mean, I still do need to finish up, like, those pages. So, if you count those 108 pages, at the end of me finishing up Volume 4, I will have, 232 pages done by the end of this, year. But I'm not counting those pages. I'm counting the pages that I have drawn from scratch. It's 124 so far. So, yeah. But yeah, if you want to, learn how to draw faster, definitely go check out the 4-step guide. We'll probably talk about a little bit more throughout the stream. If you're talking about the power of Hammer and you just want a hammer hand, I would like that too. I think that'd be awesome. But if you mean Hammer Stormrave, reading Hammer, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hopefully you like it. I always wanted to create a story that felt like One Piece. That had the same type of energy. Obviously it's not One Piece. Stud doesn't have the goal to become number one in anything. It's not like he's trying to find a treasure or anything like that. But hopefully it still has that same adventure feel. But yeah, I always wanted to mix like One Piece and like, a bunch of adventure comics like, and manga like, Dragon Ball Z, Astro Boy, Bone, Adventure Time, all that. So if you like anything like that, you will love Hammer. I think everybody out there will enjoy it for sure. Looking forward to exploring new stories, learning a lot during these streams. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys, are learning a lot. If you guys have any questions, please put them inside the chat. And, yeah. Yeah, I'm back. Welcome back. All right, cool. Awesome. Looks like we're about to start. Hold on for 1 second. Let me change this up real quick. All right, awesome. This is RX Excalibur from Stormrave. Thanks again, by the way, for sending me comics. Everybody out there that wants me to read their comic, you can do so by sending me a DM on Twitter or on Instagram. Just follow me. And, let me, send a link. Every Friday between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I'm going to do this. So, but if you guys are here, please, drop a like, and, we're going to get right into it. This is Stormrave 92. We're at his Instagram. All of the links are, down below. Just from first glance, I can see that he likes Bleach. Awesome sauce. I think his style, it's definitely in the beginning stages of, where I think he will eventually end up, or she will eventually end up. I'm not sure exactly what gender you are, so sorry. But, I do like, what I'm seeing so far. I think, there's a lot more to improve on. Like for instance, I think, I would say like the neck, for example. This is like a really, really thick neck. What else? I like the colors. I think that, there's like a traditional feel to it, even though it looks digital, but there's a traditional feel to it. So I like whatever filter or brush pen that you use. So, that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's definitely some things that you need to work on with the anatomy of the face and stuff like that. Like mainly, I guess the eyes, they just look a little bit too big. That and like the neck. But I can see that you're obviously influenced by Bleach. And I feel like if you just keep on drawing, you'll definitely get better. That's always what it is. I would also work more so on backgrounds, because it looks like you had an idea of what you wanted, but it just kind of looks like you were like, hey, I like this image, so I'm just going to put this out here. So, yeah, but that's Stormrave 92. You guys can check him out. We're going to go to his comic. This is on voice.me. First off, I just want to say for everybody out there, I am 100% Saturday AM team. There are a lot of other companies that were created around the time or right after Saturday AM. They're inspired by either Saturday AM, or, there are people that wanted to work with Saturday AM that, either haven't been able to or decided to just put their comic somewhere else. And, first off, I think everybody that's doing their comic on other platforms, kudos to you, because it's all about just getting your stuff out there. But I'm not gonna promote like these companies, because like I said, I'm Team Saturday AM. So if you guys want to check these out, definitely go check them out in the description below. But yeah, this one is on voice.me. I've heard of them. Mainly just like random people like will send me their stuff. So like I know who they are, but. Yeah, this is a comic that's on there. It says, author Stormrave 92, genre, drama, action, romance, thriller, supernatural, comedy, and fantasy. That is a very broad genre. So we're gonna check this out. I believe this was, you wanted me to read the latest chapter. Hold on. That's usually what I do. So chapter 7. Oh wait, hold on for a second. I'm sorry. It looks like you post once a month as well. Oh, no, twice a month. Okay, cool. So everybody out there that wants to, catch up on this story, I mean, this guy seems, very, consistent. So, I mean, I would definitely, go check him out if you want to support him. We're going to read, hold on, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Can I zoom in right here? Okay, I don't think I can zoom in right there. Hold on. All right, Chapter 7, Attack of the Fiend, Hordes Part 4. All right, so obviously, I'm not gonna go back and read anything from like the previous chapters, but we're gonna go into this. I just want to say, a long time ago, when I got into One Piece, I started. I think one of the first chapters that I actually read was like inside of NA's lobby, and like I think it was when he went like Gear Second, and I thought it looked so cool. It was so action packed, and it reminded me of like Kaioken and like all sort of stuff. But anyway, because of that, it made me want to read all of One Piece. So hopefully, for everybody out there that doesn't like spoilers or anything like that, sometimes spoilers can make you want to check out a series. So if this is considered a spoiler for everybody out there that wants to get into this series, I'm sorry, but hopefully this will spark some type of interest inside of you to, want to give it a chance. But yeah, that's something that I've done. I've done that for other series as well. I think Jujutsu Kaisen is one that I'm about to start doing. But yeah, I'll talk about that later. Anyway, Chapter 7, Attack of the Fiend, Hordes, Fiend Hordes, Part 4. With Zealous having defeated Leo, the Fiend Hordes continue to run amok as people flee for their lives. Toran, Azumi, Aredumo, and Mara hold their own against the lizard-like creatures, Kayuma and Rikudo seem to have found themselves surrounded by Zella's new familiars. How will they be stopped? Note, this comic reads left to right. Our Excalibur will be going on break next chapter release August 20th, 2021. Oh, man, that's a... Alright, well, I guess forget what I said about consistency. I'm sorry. Hopefully, whatever's going on with you having to have this break, will... hopefully everybody in your family is okay, or whatever's going on. Hopefully everything is fine. But, that is a very long break. August 20th. Hey, Siri, how long is it from now until August 20th?
It's 5 months until that.
That's 5 months. That's a long hiatus. And when your series isn't, very, very popular, like Shonen Jump levels popular, like Hunter x Hunter, or something like that. Like that's when you can take a really, really long hiatus. A lot of people who will see that might be turned off from your series entirely, just because they're like, I'm not sure exactly when you're going to get back into this. So for everybody out there, I would if you're going to do something like a 5-month hiatus, I would create a buffer to where either you can still put out, I don't know, even a little bit of the chapter, or a small chapter, or, whatever. Just some type of content that is constantly letting your fan base that you're trying to grow know that you're consistent. Because that is a very important thing when you are first starting out. So, keep that in mind. Number 7, Attack of the Fiend Hordes, Part 4. Alright, so it looks like, I guess these are Fiend Hordes. Alright, it look like lizard monsters. Alright, okay. Where are you, Kayuma? You picked a hell of a time to run off. And then the Fiend Horde comes, and then he's like, take this! Oh, wow. This other person comes and says, I don't think so! And chops this dude the head off. Oh, my God. Okay. Alright, now's your chance, Mr. Saya. Get out of here while you can. And then he's smoking a cigarette. And he's like, I'm going to put some energy on this. I think that's energy. That's the sound effect. You learned how to use your aura? Yes, that's why I'm asking you to leave. No can do, kiddo. I can't let you fight by yourself. Mr. Saya, I'm going to save all the islanders. I have a plan, so please, put your faith in me. Hang on a sec, kid. Lana, Millie, I'm sorry, but I have to break my promise. And then he hits him, and then he's like, ugh, I'm really sorry about that, but it's for the best. No one else needs to die. Alright. So, let me first talk about everything. Okay, so first off, I would say, when it comes to art style, this might be just me, but I think it's a little difficult to see everything just just immediately. So the clarity is kind of, muddled. To fix that, I would make the line width differentiate from the background, because the line width, for instance, in this panel is the same as the line art, or the line width in the background. He blends in so easily. I like the fact that there's a tone right here to separate him from him, but it just blends in so easily. So I would definitely try to work on the line width. This, for example, this particular panel, the anatomy's off. I get what you're going for, but again, with the line art being as thin as it is, they just kind of blend in with each other. So this would be probably a panel where I would use tones, or I would have some type of, maybe you don't even have to have a background, honestly. Just something to make it just very easily recognizable as hey, this is what's going on. That's not to say that what you have here is bad. If you look at it, you can tell, this is what's going on. But, it is kind of, it blends in very, very well. So, not well, I guess I would say. It blends in too much is what I'm trying to say. I like this panel. I think this looks really cool. It reminds me of several different, scenes in anime and manga. So, I get what you're going for right here. This particular panel, I like in the sense that, there's a lot of action, motion, and stuff. But, I don't know. Something's off. It's throwing me off a little bit. And I think when it comes to, again, with the line width, the speed lines are the same line width as his arm, for example. So again, you can see what's going on, but like it's just a little bit different. So what I would do to make that a little better is either you've done it before in previous panels. Like there's a little outline. I think it probably could have been a little bit thicker, or just something to separate it. So I would have added a little bit more of an outline to all of those characters in this panel. Right here. Or maybe I would make the line art, or I'm sorry, the speed lines in the back maybe a little bit thinner, so that way they're not as thick, maybe. Or maybe, just not have as many, speed lines. Maybe have them up here a little bit, and then like through here a little bit, have a lot of white space, so that way when this line, like these speed lines going to his mouth, I mean, you can see it, like I said, but it's so busy that, your eye kind of just glazes over it. So I would just, food for thought, work on that. I'm really sorry about that, but for the rest, no one else needs to die. Okay. Also, it also reminded me of when, what's his name? Zoro hit Sanji. That might be because this dude has a cigarette in his, mouth, but when Zoro hit Sanji in Thriller Bark, and he was like, it was nothing, like that, that's what this particular scene reminded me of. That's not to say that this scene is nearly as cool as that, so I'm sorry if I got your hopes up by saying that, but I mean, I get what you're going for, so, yeah. Alright, it says, meanwhile, alright, so they are killing these lizard people. I'm not sure, they're called fiend hordes. I'm gonna call them lizard people because it's so much easier to remember. So, alright, so I like the action. Okay, I mean, this is okay. Alright, so something that this is something that I'm working on as well. But when it comes to action scenes, you want to have them be... You want them to pop out. Not like them coming out of every single panel, because that can get kind of cluttered and busy. But you want every, action to look as cool as possible. This is supposed to be a really epic fight scene. So what I would do is either have all of these panels be, long panels, going from side to side, and, have them still have this conversation through all of, that fighting and stuff. But I would also push the, poses a little bit more, and, maybe add a little bit more spot blacks. I don't know. I get what you're going for, and I can see the action clearly enough, but it just doesn't give that oomph feeling. Which, again, it's difficult to do. I think, I'm starting to get a lot better at it. It's just a lot of practice. But, yeah. Also, I would say that there's a lot of sound effects right here, which I get. But, try to, either make the sound effects, incorporate the sound effects with the art, so that way it leads your eye to the next panel, because that's always what you're going to want to try to do, lead the eye to the next panel and stuff. You can use the sound effects in that way, or you can just have a few sound effects that, pop out of the panel to, just make it seem a little bit more epic. Yeah, so I would work on that. Alright, pretty nice of you to help out with this. Who are you? Call me Arudamo. That weird kid Rakudo asked me to come here. Is he your younger brother? Older, actually. Alright, so this is another thing that I'm going to say. I'm not sure exactly what nationality you are, or race, or anything like that, but I would say if you're not Japanese, trying to create Japanese names or using Japanese names is kind of cringy. Not in the sense that it can't be done. If you do it right and you actually do a lot of research and you know a lot about, Japanese culture and everything else. I'm not even sure if these are Japanese names. They just, to me personally, they come off as this is what I was going for, or something that sounded kind of Japanese. So if that's what you were doing, personally, I would say you should try your hardest to get away from that. This is something that, we talk about in Saturday AM for diverse manga. We want to have the same aesthetic as manga, something that is universally liked, universally loved by a lot of kids around the world, adults as well, just everybody knows what manga is. But unfortunately, a lot of people have not necessarily used those same manga aesthetics to create their story that isn't in any way, shape, or form Japanese related. How can I say this? If let's say you created this story, and I want to make 2 points. The first point is, if you created this story and you were trying to create names that sounded Japanese but you're not Japanese, it comes off as cringy and you're trying to be something that you're not. So what I would say is, if you were going to tell this story or any story that's, something that you really want to get off your chest, I would try to just be as genuine as possible. Have names that, match up to your nationality, because to be honest with you, that could be one of your fan bases. Let's say, I'm not sure exactly who you are, but let's say you were from the Philippines or Germany or something like that, and you told this story, but it was all surrounded in the Philippines or German mythology, or they all had German names or Philippine names, or whatever country you're from. If you did that, it would be a little bit more authentic, because one, exactly the names that you want to use, that you've interacted with through your life. Hey, that's Heinz over there, or Hans, or I don't know. So then you could use, that name inside of, your comic, and, actually not, it wouldn't be cringy, because you would have everything else surrounding it, and it would still be, within that same realm of something that you've actually experienced. Same thing with the type of story that you're telling as well. I think that if you were, I'm not sure exactly what the story is, and again, I'm going to read it in a few seconds, but, I just think that would be better for a lot of people. I personally, when it comes to Hammer, that's not set in Japan. It's not set on Earth. So, that's a very, fantasy type story. And as I've gotten older, I've started to realize that, I wish I could go back and add more things from my life to that story to make it feel either more real, or, I could pull from my own memory. And, the next story I'm doing has all of the elements and everything else that I've learned from my entire journey of doing Hammer and everything else before that. So, I'm really excited to work on this next story, because, I get to do a lot of things that I've been wanting to do. But when it comes to Hammer, for example, I don't have, Stud, his name's not, Stud Mamamoto, or, anything like that. This is the second point that I wanted to make, was, every name in, Hammer, for example, Stud Hammer, Brim, they're very, Diane, they're very easy to remember. And their character design, is also, it might not be as memorable as, I don't know, Dragon Ball Z yet, or, whatever. Hopefully, it'll get to that point. But the fact of the matter is that every name that has been mentioned inside of Hammer, for the most part, is very memorable. Just also inside of Dragon Ball Z, for example, or I'm trying to think of some other ones. I don't know. There's a lot of, I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling right now. I just feel like if you have a name for your character that's memorable, it makes that character more memorable for the future, for all the readers that want to look at this. So I will never know. I will immediately forget Ardumo. Call me Ardumo, or Rakudo, or whatever. I will immediately forget that, and that's not what you want. So I would just keep that in mind. Again, I'm sorry if it feels like I'm, crapping on you. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to give you some knowledge from, just my experiences and everything else. But, yeah, I would definitely try to, bring more of your own experiences into the story. It looks like like you said earlier when I was reading it, you're going to take like a 5-month break. So, I'm not sure if you're going to come back to the story. Maybe you will come up with another story that's better. I have no idea. But, I definitely would, just try to keep that in mind, moving forward for your next stories. So that way you can create characters that are a little more memorable. Yeah, so, I'm sorry. Alright, we're going to go to the next page. Azumi and that boy make a pretty good team. Judging by his aura and his age, I'd wager he's a... He's a... Shivarian apprentice. I don't know what that is. Which means that must be his master's aura I'm sensing. But that other aura is so faint, I can't make it out. Never mind that. I have to find Rakudo and Kayuma first. Azumi! I think we've cleared enough of them out for me to create an opening. Ooh, excuse me, guys. I just had something to eat and burping. You and that boy hold down the fort. I'm going to find Rakudo and Kayuma, and I'll be right back. He's using the Ares blade. All right. Okay, Oh, okay, all right. She's using the Ares blade. Okay, all right. So I guess these are the Ares blades. That threw me off. Like, all right. So this is another thing. When it comes to your page layout, the things that are like really, really important, you want them to, stand out. So for instance, this girl, what I would do is I would probably like have her, I would make this entire panel like one panel, and I would have her like coming out of the panel because, she's holding those blades. It's supposed to look really, really cool. You want to bring attention to those blades, especially since she says it right here. So I would, keep that in mind, when it comes to, your future chapters, page layouts. What's the most important thing that you're trying to highlight through that page, and then just, make that stand out. Alright, everyone's fighting those monsters. I want to help. But there's no way Mom or Azumi will let me go out there. If only I could use my aura. Rakudo! Wait, okay, I'm sorry. Rakudo. Hello there. Where the heck are you? Okay, alright. I feel like... this is another... Okay, alright, so this is another thing. You gotta lead the eye for the reader. This might just be because I'm reading live, and I feel, that, there's a lot of people watching me. Like, that might be why I feel that, I can't, concentrate on, where to go next. But, even if that wasn't the case, you want to make sure that your reader is going from, this panel to this panel to this panel to this panel to this panel. And the way to make that happen, there are a bunch of ways. But one easy way to do that is to make sure that the speech bubbles are placed in, a Z format. So that way it kind of, just leads you to the next panel. So right here, that's not, when I see this, I immediately go right here and then I read this. I knew that it went right here to this next panel and I read that, but when I came right here, it also made me go right here as opposed to going down and then going up. So, it's just stuff like that. This is another reason why I say you should look at, you should do thumbnails. Because when you do the thumbnails, I'm not sure if you did thumbnails for this, but whenever you do thumbnails, you can lay out exactly where every speech bubble is, and that way you can try to make it as clear as possible for the reader. All right, so she has the Ares blades, and she's like, "Whoosh, Ares Trailblazer." Okay, I like that. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. I think that's pretty cool. I would. Okay, so I like this panel. This panel, I'm sorry, you had everything lined up and it just kind of flopped. This last panel where she's screaming, or if that's just the sound effect of the fire or whatever, this could look so much better. I'm sorry, but it could look so much better. You can have it be more of an explosion. You can have that, be a longer panel. You can change the angle. You can make the fire stand out a little bit more. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do, but, you were setting it up pretty well. I like this panel, and I like this panel more so. But, this panel, it just kind of flopped. So, I mean, I would definitely try to finish exactly, like, the type of feeling that you're going for. Whatever feeling that you're trying to, like, have the reader, have whenever they're reading this. Like, this is supposed to be an awesome moment. But, like I said, like, it kind of flopped. So, what you want is to create panels that are going to coincide with, what you're trying to, have them feel. And if that was supposed to be really, really cool, then I'm sorry. It didn't go through. So I'm sorry, but yeah. Alright, that did the trick. Alright, she killed something. What did she even do? Hold on. It looks like they were defeating those lizard people, and then she comes and she uses the Ares blades. And I assume that these darker spots are the lizard people burning. If that's the case, I would try to, make them look a little bit more clear. Maybe make the silhouette, have an arm that's popping out or, something. But, if that's not the case, then I don't know what one it's doing. But, yeah. Same thing I said earlier about the line art. It blends in with the ground and the fire. Like, they blend in so much that, like, it kind of just is like a wash. Like, so, yeah. That did the trick. I'm counting on you, Azumi, and don't forget to put out the flames. She's like, but you put the flames out there. What a strange family. And that woman, her aura is off the charts. She must be adept at aura control. For me not to have sent her sooner. Come on, Arudamo. Let's finish them off. Right. Alright, the beach. Okay. I like these cartoony clouds. I like that a lot. I think if this is water and this is sand, like I get that because you have like the stippling dots right here. But the water, could use a little bit more detail just because it just looks like a bunch of random scratches. So, I would probably look at water and fire. I would look at both of those to try to, figure out a different way to draw them to make them stand out a little bit more. Because even though she's saying put out the flames, and also we also just saw her, make these flames. Right here in particular, it just kind of looks like a bunch of grass. And, if let's say you were drawing a lot of grass on fire, how would you do that? No, if it looks the same. So, I mean, I would just try to figure out a different way to draw fire. You could look at a bunch of different manga that, have fire in their backgrounds, or just actually study fire. You can do one and two, but yeah. Alright, these lizard people, or the fiend hordes, they're everywhere. Jeez. Alright, so this dude cut this dude in half. Again, this is another action panel that I would just try to, make it look as cool as possible. You could change the angle, add some speed lines, something, but yeah. Also, you can't really tell exactly what she's doing. Hold on. Okay, it looks like she's, like, doing something like this, or something like that, and, like, I can see that there's energy, or there's something coming from her, arms, but, you could have made this look a little bit better. What I would do is I would probably have her and him in the foreground, and, like, have her, like, do this, and then you would see, like, the back of this dude, and then you would have him a little bit farther behind her, and you would have him, like, in the background, like, getting just sliced in half. And, that way you can, if you do it right, you could lead the eye to the next panel. You could, just have it be a little more epic. Maybe have them coming out of the panel as well, so it, leads the eye a little bit more. But, yeah, just food for thought. At this rate, we'll never beat all of them. We should run for it. These things are probably all over the island. There's no place to run. He's trying to act tough, but he's at his limit. We both are. Riku! And then the lizard people goes, and then oh wow, so she comes out of nowhere and she's like, take this! Okay, so I guess she's hitting him, or she's just blocking, like, the attack. And he's like, Kayuma! Are you okay? And then she has energy eyes. Okay, so this is another thing I would say. Like, I can see that it's energy eyes, but you could make it stand out a little bit more. There's tones around her eye, but like if you made the white inside of her eye or like around the tone a little bit more, I guess opaque, and like, if you made it more white, then the tone around it would look darker, thus bringing more attention to it and, showing that, hey, this person has made their eyes glow. Like, I can see that it says Veen, so, there are certain things that are out there, or on this page, that make it, make me as the reader, like, realize, okay, this is what's happening. But you can make it look a little bit more standoutish. So that would be my advice for this. But where's all of her... Wait, what's up with all of her... what's up with her all of a sudden? Okay, so she turns around, because she has her energy eyes, and she's like, Kayuma, where are you going? Kayuma, you listen to me. It's like she's freaking possessed. And then she walks into the water. Okay. See, okay, like this detail, definitely better than what you had over here. Like, you can tell, like, like this just looks like a lot of scratches. But if right here, like, there's at least some more detail. Again, this, because there's no stippling right here, I can tell it's not sand. But it kind of also just looks like sand. So I would definitely look at water, fire, even sand as well. Just try to, like, learn a little bit more tricks to try to make it look a little bit more like that. Yeah, like, for instance, like, you could add suds or bubbles. You know how, like, when you're, like, on the beach and you, like, have the waves and there's, like, a bunch of suds that, like, hit this, like, the sand. And then it's kind of separated by a bunch of other suds, and then there's more water in between that, and then another wave comes, and, like, the white part is basically what I'm trying to say. If you learn how to draw that and separate it from the water itself, or try to make it look at least closer to that, like, it would come off so much better. It would look like water as well. So, yeah. What's she doing in the water? That's another cool trick, though. I like the fact that, he said water as opposed to, just drawing it. But if you draw it, at least you don't have to say it. Like, him saying it makes it, better because you instantly know, okay, well, that's water, but still. Also, with the sound effects, one thing that I've been trying to do, when it comes to, running, at least, I would have the sound effects kind of trail behind him, so that way it shows that he's running, it's just another, like, hint that, he's running and, like, he's using his feet, like, tip, 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 tip. But right there, it just looks like he's, I get it, but, like, the sound effects kind of just, like, make it cluttered. You're looking at the sound effects more so than you're looking at him. And the line art is also very thin, so, like, it blends in. So, yeah, I would work on that. Let me look. She's like, whoosh. Okay, this is interesting. I like the attempt at the waves. I like that. That's pretty cool. Again, I think you'll get better with, more time. Everything that I'm saying as well, just, take it as a grain of salt. Everything that I'm saying for everybody out there, I'm not trying to be mean, but, it's advice. You can take it or leave it. You don't necessarily need to listen to me at all. But, if you do, then I think that it's at least a starting point to get better. So hopefully you're listening to me and not, just thinking that I'm mean. But, like, I get it if you do. So, yeah. Anyway, it's so bright. What is that? All right, and then she, created a portal. Oh, okay, she created a portal. She pulls out some light, and then it shrinks. And then, like, she's walking towards him. Okay, this is a double-page spread? Okay, these are both double-page spreads. Okay, so for both of those double-page spreads, especially for this panel, I would have changed the angle. Make it look immaculate, like, amazing. Maybe have the camera, like, looking up at her or something. Excuse me. Oof, excuse me. But I would just make that look so much better because it's just a normal panel, like, you know, and because it's a normal panel, like, why have a double page spread? Double page spreads are supposed to get you to say, yes! Like, this is awesome! Like, you know, that's what you want when it comes to a double page spread. This double page spread does not make me do that. So I would, you know, just food for thought. Yep, no doubt about it, she's possessed. And he's walking through the water. Rikudo Keyashi. Break free of that which binds you, lest it completely eclipses your path. Okay. You're like, your heart mustn't waver, for it has been connected. You're not Kayuma. And then she's like, whoosh, and she creates this gigantic wave. This is a cool double page panel, but you could have added more detail for the water to make it look more like a wave as opposed to just a bunch of like curvy speed lines. You know, again, I get what you're going for, but you know, it could look a lot better. And I also like the attempt at what you're doing right here. I've seen that in a lot of other manga, and animes. Well, I guess manga because you know it's kind of what they were reading, but. I mean, you know, I personally, I would have made them either a little bit bigger, like maybe have them, like maybe have this one panel, like, you know, stretch out to like right here, and then have these characters, like, you know, take up the majority of these pages, so that way you can add more detail and, like, you know, show that pose a little bit more. But, yeah. Wait, Kayuma, or wherever, or whoever you are, don't do it. And then she drowns him. And then she's like, that wave felt aura generated, but it was caused by Kayuma's aura. First Rikudo, and now her. What the hell is going on here? Oh god, was I too late after all? It looks like they're dead. Right. Kayuma! Rikudo! And you see both of them. They might just be passed out. Oh god, they're alive. Oh good, they're alive. Their auras are drained though. They must have been fighting the fiend hordes. I know I said this earlier, the lizard people is what I would call them. The only reason why is because I guess fiend hordes, like, I don't know, it just makes me laugh. Like, I'm not sure if that's what you're going, I assume that's not what you're going for, but like, it just, fiend hordes makes me laugh, because what I immediately see, you know, just because I have, you know, I guess dyslexia or whatever, I see friend horses, and that's not what you're writing. But lizard people, like, you know, everybody knows what a lizard person is, so I mean, I would just food for thought. I guess that explains why their auras have been fluctuating so much, but that just begs the question, who summoned them? Unless someone is on the island pulling the strings, they must be using the fiend hordes as a decoy to do who knows what. I need to get these two home so I can stop them before anyone else gets hurt. Choof. I don't know what that is. Okay, so I don't know what that is. Elsewhere. Alright, everyone, in you go. And no pushing. There's plenty of room. I like that you drew a lot of people, and they're all different. That's really cool. Mom! What took you so long? I was worried sick about you. Sorry, but those monsters jumped me, and I ran into Mr. Saya. What happened to him? I kinda sorta knocked him out. What? Why? How could you? I had to. He was gonna get himself killed. That doesn't mean assault him. I apologize to Mr. Saya, I promise. I'll apologize to Mr. Saya, I promise. Oh, I'll see to that. Now get your butt in the shelter. You know better than this. Hold on, Mom. I'm gonna take these monsters out with one shot. One shot? Tell me, you don't mean to the pulse wave? You're not ready. I've spent all night charging my aura to use it. Dad died for this island. It's up to me to defend it in his place. Don't do it, Terrain. Or Terran. Whoosh. Former Centauri Knight's dad. Lend me your full strength. Lend me your strength. Terran. And then she starts crying. Pulse wave! Alright, first off, I get that you're trying to get to the action portion. This is, you know, when he does the pulse wave. If this attack is supposed to be so powerful, why is he doing it right next to his mother? Like, I would assume there's going to be an explanation that this pulse wave only attacks enemies, but, like, you know, to the casual reader, like, just seeing this, like, I would assume maybe you've talked about this in previous chapters as well. It looks like I'm on chapter 7, so, I mean, maybe I just don't understand everything. But it just, I mean, it seems like it's being hyped up to be a powerful enough attack to destroy all of the enemies on the island. But he does it right next to his mother. So, like, I'm gonna put you in danger! Like, that's what came to my mind when I looked at this. So, I'm gonna keep on reading. Maybe there's a little bit, there's an explanation. So, she's like, ah! And then, like, she's, kind of distraught. And then you see these lizard people die. Okay, alright. So, that's another, oh, wow. Alright, cool. So, we're gonna keep on reading. Alright, I don't see any of those lizard monsters, but what about... he bleeds, and then I guess his axe was a summon, and it goes away. She's like, Turan! Please don't die! Turan! Alright, so, okay. Alright. I think he should have left the area where his mom was, because this attack destroyed so many... like, monsters. Like, I would assume there's more of an explanation that I just don't know. But, just from, my first impression, it just seems as though that he could have done that somewhere else. What the hell was that? Divine intervention? I'm still trying to figure out what those lizard things were. They were fiend hordes. That's what they were. Hey, you two. Ha! Ma, you're okay. Let me worry about who's okay. Speaking of, are you and Jeyodin? We're fine. I'm glad you're still in one piece, too. I can't thank you enough for your help, kiddo. It's Arudamo, and I'm just doing my duty. So, Arudamo, could you tell me who summoned the fiend hordes? Allow me. And then he says, I knew it. And then this guy comes who has been cut a bunch of times and does not look like he's in a good shape. Alright, cool. So, that was the end of, Stormrave's comic, RX Caliber. You guys can check that out in the link below. There is a, there's a link in the description. My first impression of this comic is you are a major fan of a lot of manga that you've read. And you are trying your hand at certain styles, mainly Bleach, to basically find your own style. Which there's no problem in that. Creating comics, trying new different things and all that. What I would try to implore you to do is create a comic that is relatable, because those are the comics that people gravitate towards. I, have been trying to make Hammer more relatable. I think Volume 4 and, moving forward from that. And also everything else that I've done. But, definitely from Volume 4 and on, I think I definitely am starting to get into a better rhythm of, creating, more characters that are, really relatable and you can feel for and, actually find something that you yourself, can see yourself in that character, for example. But one really good way of doing that is writing about something that writing about, maybe a past experience, make yourself a main character, just do things that stand out in a way that makes you unique. And if you can do that, if you create, a very simple story, I would also say just do a lot of short stories, because it would help you out with, your comic book telling and sequential art and all that. But, yeah. It looks like I've been talking about this for an entire hour, so I'm going to get off of this. But kudos to you, man. This is Stormrave's comic. You guys can check it out in the description below. I'm going to read some comments, and then we're going to go to the next comic, which is Boneyard. I'm going to probably speed this up a little bit more, because I've been reading, nonstop. But hold on, let me do this. Let me go up. All right. Alright, so it looks like the next comic was Balthazar Chase. Says, nice, let's go. Love RX. The Rojo Kova. Consistency is key. I gave myself a 6-month buffer before I dropped my first chapter. That was a good idea. Yes, I think that's really, really good. Finally made it. Sup, Jay? Raconius. What's up, man? I'm about to read your comic. Balthazar Chase says, damn, I guess you're talking about when I was reading it. This is what happens when you have the superpower of God and anime on your side. All right, enjoyed the first read-through. Still, good job to the author of those manga. Took courage to bring it up. Awesome stuff, indeed. Yes, good job. Definitely. I mean, RX, Stormrave, you definitely... To me, it shows that you are passionate. And it shows me that you are definitely trying everything that you think you should do to, get into this field. And that's what you should do. Like, the more you fail, the more you learn from those failures, and, then you just keep on going, and, you just get better and better. So, the comment that you have, the comic that, I just read, I think you'll get better with time. But, just keep on going. Just keep on going. All right, so we're going to go to the next comic. This is... from hold on, sorry, I gotta change this. By the way, everybody out there that is watching this right now, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Please like this video. Let everybody know that you are giving it a thumbs up. Put something in the comments. Ask a question if you guys want me to talk about that after I'm done reading this comic. Check out the links below as well. But we're going to go to this next comic. This is from Ricardo Antonio. Ricardo Antonio. Give me 1 second. Okay. Ricardo Antonio. This dude has been of Ground Saturday AM for a very long time. He's been in March of Madness, Summer of Manga. He's definitely gotten a lot better as well as time has, passed. And I would like to say that his coloring is, very, very cool. Like, I like the fact, like, whatever brushes he uses, like, I like that a lot. I'm going on his profile right now, checking out all this other stuff. Looks like he has commissions open for anybody out there that wants to check it out. But yeah, I like his coloring a lot. I think that is probably the strongest thing that you do, for sure. Hold on. Let me get out of this. Like, this is, yeah. Like, I mean, I feel like this particular picture, when it comes to the colors, I like the painted look. It looks like digital paint, but, like, it's detailed enough to where it stands out. I would say, when I first saw this particular image, I thought that, man, that pirate has the prettiest face, like, ever. I mean, as a pirate, I would assume that he would have maybe, I don't know, a scar on his face, or, maybe just have a little bit more of a mean expression. So, I would, work on, certain things that, like, fit whatever you're trying to draw. So this is a pirate, so draw a pirate that looks mean and looks like he's supposed to be a pirate. Unless you're trying to draw a One Piece pirate, in which case make him look a lot more adventurous and, maybe give him a power. But I get what you're going for, and again, I think the colors on this look really, really cool. But we're going to go to his comic. This is a manga. Let me just back up and say this real quick. Whenever I say comic and manga, personally, I am using them I use them interchangeably. Because manga, the word inside of Japan, means comic. Granted, obviously, manga has a lot more attached to it, when it comes to storytelling, art styles, the way you're telling that story, the rhythm of that story, like, just everything like that. So, I understand that that's, different. But, I mean, personally, whenever I'm talking about comics and manga, unless I'm specifically talking about a particular property, I use those words interchangeably. So for everybody out there that's annoyed by that, I'm sorry. That's just what it is. At some point it'll change, but yeah. So we're going to read this manga from Pilot Manga. This is Boneyard from Ricardo Antonio. He sent me a message and said that Chapter 7 was kind of, heavy. So we're not going to read Chapter 7. He said, we're going to read another chapter. This is Chapter 6. This is called Juntos, which means together. Or maybe it's Juntos. I'm not really sure. Is it gonna go? Okay. Alright. See, again, this is another, example of, his coloring style. I really like that painting. I also like the way you do your faces. It's just, I feel like a lot of the faces that you draw are very soft looking, for men. Or, like it's mainly just like their eyes are a little bit too big. But again, that's just your style. I think the more you draw, you'll find like a decent medium, a decent balance to where everything will still look good. But I love this cover. Like this, I've always liked this cover. I think this is really cool. For everybody that doesn't know, Boneyard is a comic about dominoes. I've read a bunch of these chapters. Actually, I don't think I've read this particular chapter, so this will be pretty fun to read from scratch. But I think it was chapter 3 and 4. It was like a climax for the first domino battle, and it was epic. So everybody out there that wants to check this story out, you can do so. The link is in the description. It's from Pilot Manga. Pilot Manga actually has a lot of different series that are under the same umbrella of Saturday AM. People that are on Pilot Manga, this particular like series, for example, is under Saturday Afternoon, which is basically the Saturday AM, same shonen type of brand, but like just more independent. And what I mean by that is like Saturday AM comes out in a magazine and it's every single month. Whereas on Pilot Manga, they have their own schedule. It's either Saturday afternoon. I believe they, obviously try to, be consistent with their story and put it out, a few times a month or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, that's the difference, when it comes to, Saturday afternoon and Saturday AM, the schedule and all that stuff. So, for everybody out there that wants to, just read a lot of manga, there's a lot on Pilot Manga. It's really cool. So definitely go check that out. All right, let's do this. Let me get this straight. You didn't even technically lose our match, but you volunteered to wash Aretha? He let you near his baby? Yes. Hey, he already said this. Stop talking to us. You also should focus better, Manny. Psh! As she drops the domino down. And you ran all the way there to help wash the car? Are you even listening to me? I can see why he would want you two together. Y'all are inseparable. So ungrateful. Last time I let you chill on the senior patio. This fool. Haha, nice cameo. Hey, Raw. You there. Ooh, excuse me. Did you say something, Elias? I got to the dope shark part. Again, thank you for the shout out. Are you serious right now? Not you with the disrespect. Oh no. Elias, stop yelling. I made a bad play because of you. Alright, so, first and foremost, again, when it comes to the coloring, I like this a lot. The coloring looks really, really cool. I like the digital painted look a lot. I think that really works with your style. I do think that there are certain things that, will get tighter and maybe look better as you go on. Like, for instance, the grass right here. I get that it's supposed to look like it's not like a full, lawn, I guess. But, like, you could still maybe work on the brushes to make it look like individual grass blades, or just something to make it stand out a little bit more. Like, hey, this is supposed to be grass. I don't know. Like it looks fine. It's just I feel like it could look a little bit better. So just a little bit more effort. I do like the background right here, like these cars, for example. I think that looks really cool. This fence, this comes back to scale that I was saying. In a few, lives ago. It's not that big of a deal for this, from what I'm about to say, but it would just be better if you did this, because it would really like make it feel a little bit realer. Like, if, let's say, you were him and you saw the fence and they were like really, really thick, like, I guess bars or, whatever. Like, that's a really thick fence. Like, and I assume that's not what you're going for, like, if this was a real fence in general. So I don't know, stuff like that just kind of sticks out to me. Also, I would have probably added something to make it look like he had his shorts on right here, because I'm gonna be real, it kind of looks like he doesn't have pants on. So like I would little minute things like that to keep in mind. But overall, so far so good. I like this a lot. This is another thing that I was saying about diverse manga. Ricardo, he knows about Domino's Bones or Boneyard, and he added that into his series. He crafted an entire series around that concept, something that he knew a lot about. And, from that, he's able to, add a lot of other, dialect things. Like, there's a few Spanish words that pop up every now and then here. There's, Spanish lore that, he talks about. And, like, the past couple of chapters in the very beginning, like, they're explaining everything with Domino's and, how this all works and like why this is important for his culture and all that. And I think that is something that you don't necessarily see in traditional Japanese manga. Not necessarily that you don't necessarily see cultural references inside of traditional manga, because you do, obviously, but those cultural references are usually Japanese related. And if not, maybe European. Because I know Vinland Saga and Full Metal Alchemist, for example. But there are so many different cultures on the planet. And trying to appeal to those cultures, I think not only do they deserve something that they can look at and say, hey, I like this because it, reminds me of me and my family and all that sort of stuff. But also, I think it, just makes it, the diversity, like you have more of an option, something that's a little bit more of something that you would want to check out. Like let's say Hikari no Go, for example. Hikari no Go is essentially the same type of setup when it comes to Boneyard, but Boneyard is about Domino's, and Hikari no Go is about I don't even know how to pronounce that you know what game I'm going for. I forgot what it's called, but I don't know all the rules for that game. I haven't read Hikari no Go in a while, but I do know more of the rules for Domino's because I've grown up around that and I can recognize that. So I feel like anybody that picks this up might recognize that more so than they would Hikari no Go. And there you go. You have a fan, or you have at least somebody that's like, hey, I want to give this a shot because I know what this is. So adding things that you yourself know more about into your comic definitely, makes it more authentic, makes it easier to tell. You can pull from your past, experiences and, create different chapters from that. So I think that that's a really good idea for everybody out there that, wants to create a different story. I talked about this in a, earlier when I was reading R. Excalibur, but having something like diversity, definitely does, make you stand out. So, all right. Or was I? Oh no! Stop, Ulysses! You made a bad. You made me play a bad. You made a bad. I made a bad play because of you. All right, so no worries, Manny. You're a loser, but you played super well. And he's like, ooh. And then this car comes. Scream! I got the jackets. Help me with them. Another thing I would say, Antonio. This panel stands out more so than all the other panels because every other panel after that is like a mid-range shot. Doesn't show that much of a background, if a background at all. And I get, backgrounds are annoying. And it looks like everything right here is colored, so I'm not sure exactly how long it takes you to, actually color a background from scratch. But definitely I would pull back the camera a little bit more, have bigger panels to show their relation to the background and like the elements in the background, show different angles, stuff like that. I also, even though I haven't necessarily seen, okay, all right. So this is nitpicky, but there's this thing called the 180 rule. And the 180 rule is when there's like a line let's say there's a line right here in between these two characters. So you know that this character is always on the right and this character is always on the left. But you change up that, immediately right here. Like, now I get the fact that right here that's what it originally was. But if that's the case, you should have kept it like this for this panel. Now again, I understand that you're just changing the angle and all of that, but there's a way to do it. It's very difficult, but like, the more you practice, the better you get at it. So yeah, again, it's nitpicky, and because you're doing it in color, like, it's not like it's confusing me to, see who these characters are, or, all that. But that's just something that I would, work on. Alright, so it says, I got the jackets, help me with them. And then he opens it up. He's like, thoof. No mames, which means slang for no way. Okay, cool. See, another cool thing, like these little knowledge drops, hey, here you go. This is what this translates to. No mames, no way. They're from Mike. So dope. This is Boneyard, created by Ricardo Antonio. Another thing I like that you do a lot, Ricardo, he has his title, and this entire type thing usually, pops up in random panels, like after the first 2 or 3 pages, and, I don't know, I've seen a lot of different comics do that, in the West, and I've liked that as well, so I like that. I think it's cool. Told you boys, they are high quality. Also, got the larger size you requested, Raul. This is awesome. I can feel it draping down my back and even swaying like a superhero's cape. Truth, justice, and Unitos together. And I'll be Dark Brody one. Okay. I must have gotten them both the triple extra large. Okay, so I think, this is a cool panel. I think it could have looked a lot better. Like I said with the last comic, maybe change the angle a little more. Have the jacket like flow in the wind, like how he's describing, swaying like a superhero cape. Maybe make the hood, flow in the wind. Just something to make it look a little bit more epic. Because right there, it just kind of looks like, here he's just looking behind him, and, there you go. Again, you do have, however, like joke elements, which is like, his face and this, facial expression. So, maybe you're going for a joke type, feel. But, I would still try to make it look as epic as possible. So that would be something that I would do. Think about, for everybody out there, whenever you're trying to make something super epic, think about different angles. Because that definitely, helps it out. We look so good in these, homie. I know, like, we're going to save the world or something. The red is like a cape. Ahem. We might as well all try them on. So, how do I look? You look so cool, Marisol. Oh, I know I do. Now, she's just full of herself. Ya no está bonita. And now she's not pretty. Okay, so again, I like the knowledge bombs, but I would just try to... I know that this is a joke, because of their facial expressions and stuff. But again, try to have, backgrounds, at least one panel of backgrounds every 2 pages, at least. The absolute least. I think that, you did a, pretty decent job, because there's, certain hints, like grass, for example, or, there's a table. But, like, you should still try to have some type of pull-out with the camera to show the characters in relation to the background, so that way everybody who's reading this will never get confused as to where these people are. Because I don't know where the car is in relationship to them right now. I would assume they're in the parking lot, but I don't know where the parking lot is in relationship to them. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, there's no, like I would assume this is where the street is, and that's where, he's coming, but you could have made that a little bit clearer to see. So, yeah. Like, right here, for example, you just show from that angle, like, it's supposed to look, like, really epic and cool, but, like, it could just look a little more clear. That's what you're going for. That's what you should go for. So, yeah. Alright, let me, keep on going. What was that? Got something to say? Say it louder. Ah! She's going berserk. I like this face. I think that's cool. Alright, let's start today's meeting inside. Please don't harm the newbies, Miss Perez. She's for real, gonna kill them. Help us! Alright, now then, Elias, Marisol, Manuel, Raul, you 4 are who I want this year. it is clear that the others who have come after school simply to kill time wouldn't be here for the long haul. So they've been removed from the club. As fun as it was hosting an extracurricular clubhouse, we will be participating in a brand new tournament this winter. You four are the Boneyard. You are the team I want. Okay, so this panel in particular seems very off. Like, I get that the panel itself is slanted, but they shouldn't be. Like, they should be... Okay, so the way that they're standing is like this, and like the door behind them is like this. So they should be like that to where the door is. Because if this is, if you look at the ground and they're all standing like this, they're all like essentially practicing a Michael Jackson move. Like that's what it looks like. So I would really like try to work on, I think a lot of things that you need to work on are more like, pulling out, showing the cameras and the angles and stuff, anatomy. I think your backgrounds are, gonna get better with time, but perspective, definitely. Yeah. So, definitely keep on drawing, because you're gonna get better. There's a drastic difference from this chapter and chapter 1. You can see his progression. So, especially with the colors again, those colors are definitely, I think, probably one of your best traits for sure. But yeah, definitely work on the anatomy. I think that would help you out a lot. We have I've plugged this before, but there's this website called Just Sketch Me, justsketch.me. And there's this is for everybody out there. I'm sure Ricardo knows about this, but for everybody out there that wants to learn on anatomy and stuff, go to justsketch.me, and there's like these 3D models that you can like pose and draw over them, take a screenshot, draw over them and stuff. So that might help you at least have a starting point. But yeah. However, before East LA Domino Tourney, I've made an arrangement. A colleague and I joined to form a practice tourney. This is where you will be pushed as a team to compete and gain experience together. Danny Cortez has agreed to help with his domino team from rival school Garfield. A decades-long tension with Roosevelt is a surefire way to get you guys pumped. This will be single elimination, and so you four will split up and play one-on-one with each other, with each of their four. Okay, so for this panel, I would have made the faces a little bit smaller. I would have had these speech bubbles like 1, 2, 3, 4, so that way it's you're not like, you can see this tournament like bracket. I would have shown that to make it drive home a little bit more that this is a tournament. And by making their faces a little bit smaller, you would have had a little bit more room to show that. So, page layouts. Everything that you're talking about that's supposed to be important. I said this in the last one as well. Everything that's supposed to be important, you want to show what that is. Whether it's through tone and you're trying to tone everything else out, so that way that is the only thing that's not toned and it stands out. Or vice versa, or whatever you're trying to draw, make it pop out of the panel, or just make that one thing in the panel so that way your eye immediately goes to it. Just there's certain tricks that you can do to make whatever you're trying to talk about stand out a little bit more. But yeah, that panel definitely I would have worked on a little bit more. Garfield's team, so that means Jason Petty will be there too. Jason Petty, oh man. Danny Cortez is my older cousin. He may be a lovable guy, but he's no joke. He's won countless domino games back in prison. Jeez. But who the heck is Jason Petty? He sounds like a super serious opponent. Should I be scared? Asking the important questions. Good job, Manny. Jeson Petty is a force of nature. He's never once lost a game. And last year's tournament, he single-handedly whooped the entire county of Los Angeles. Oh, jeez. He's only 17 years old. I like the hype for this Jason Petty. I wonder if he is petty. was a lame joke. I'm sorry. All right. Even the uncles, aunties, and grandpas are scared of him. Oh, jeez. So what? Does it mean nothing, Pero? All right. Hold on. I don't care if he's a longtime champion. It doesn't matter if he's the Kobe Bryant of dominoes. We gotta have the ganas to win. He isn't ready for what the Boneyard can dish out. Am I right or am I right? What was that? Not even... Oh, okay, I skipped a panel. See, that's another... You want to lead the eye, so always, do thumbnails. So that way you can plan out speech bubbles inside of that Z formation, so that way no one knows... So that way no one is confused whenever they're reading your comment. Am I right or am I right? Yeah, you're right. What was that? Huh? Not even my giant elephant ears can hear you, E. Ha 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 ha. I like this little moment. It's pretty cool. I would have combined these last three panels, and had them laughing in the background while the old man is like, haha, this kid is something else, and have him have Manny talking to the other guy in the foreground, him saying, am I right? He's like, yeah, you're right. And so, that way you can have three layers of, things that are happening in one panel. Obviously, it takes a while to learn how to, space that all out correctly. But again, if you just try new things, you'll get better as you continue. So I would definitely try a lot of those type of layouts. All right, then let's send him running to his ugly mama. Oh, beep. He's like, what did I say? Jason's Mr. Steely's son. Well, Manny, so that means that the person I called ugly is, did I hear you disrespect my wife? It's like, well, I'm finally scared of you, sir. 2 hours later, I assume he got a butt whooping? Maybe that's what happened. I have no idea. I've never been yelled at for that long before. Not even my mom. Hey, payosos, wait up. Woo. I got something to ask you two. Okay, so... I'm sorry, guys. Ah, man. I'm burping. Jeez. E is having a pool party on Saturday, and we'll be able to practice some games before the tourney with Garfield next Monday. You want to come? A pool party? Well, I mean... And then he's like, well, we'll be there, Mari. For real? Awesome. Can't wait to see you, Manny. Yeah, see you, Mari. And then he's like, can I get shredded by Saturday? No. Okay. All right. So first off, I like this cameo. This is Ricardo Antonio in the corner. I like that a lot. I also like this right here. It says, thanks for reading. How did you like the color pages? Color pages were awesome. I liked them a lot. So initially I intended to color the entire chapter. However, as I went to color the first few pages, that task easily became a dreadful one. I wanted to get this chapter out to you all as soon as possible. I already had to push it back a month. In the end, I think this approach was best. Thank you so much for your patience, y'all. I wanted to give a special thanks to the one and only Jeyodin. Thank you again, man. I really appreciate it. That fun cameo by Hammer Volume 1 was okayed by the man himself, so thanks, Jay. You are welcome. Everybody or anybody that wants to cameo Hammer in a good way. I remember somebody from a few years ago actually took my character and chopped his head off. I was like, what are you doing? Like, why would you want to do that? But, if you guys want to have a cameo of Hammer in a good way, that's totally okay. I totally think that's cool. Ricardo, good job, man. I have been a fan of your comic for a while. I think that, the more you draw, the better you're going to get. I think if you focus on anatomy, making your faces look a little bit more, for the men, as opposed to so there's little boys, there's men, and then there's women. I would say women's faces should always look the softest and prettiest. A boy's face should look soft, but not, it should look young. Not like super innocent. This pirate right here. I would, definitely, since he's a man, I would have made his eyes a little bit slanted, a little bit more. Maybe add some wrinkles or something to his face to make him, stand out a little bit more. But stuff like that, just really minute things, I think would help you tremendously. So anatomy, I would add more backgrounds, try different layouts, stuff like that. I think that would help you out for sure. But that is Boneyard. You guys can check out that comic in the description down below. I'm going to read some comments real quick, and then after that, we will go off to the next comic. The next comic is from the Rojo Kova, so stay tuned for that. But before we get to that, we're gonna read these comments. Hold on. All right. Zuriel the Surreal says, "This is what happens when you have the power of God and anime on your side." Okay, I already read that. Already enjoyed the first read through. Awesome stuff indeed. Thanks for reading. I really appreciate it. No problem, man. Stormwraith again. Definitely just keep it up. You will get better. I can already see the makings of. It looks like you have. Like you're trying to emulate Bleach's art style, or or at least incorporate it into your own art style. And I think the more you draw, you'll pick up on certain things that work best for you. If you want to look at other artists as well, that will definitely make it better. But I mean, keep on drawing because you'll get better for sure. What device do you draw on? Currently, I am drawing on a Wacom tablet. This is a 24-inch Cintiq Pro. It is on a Ergo stand, and it is awesome. I love this thing. I actually made a video about it a long time ago on my TikTok, but I'll probably will make another video at some point in time, and I'll probably show that off. But that's what I'm currently drawing on. I've also drawn on an XP pen. I think that was like 12 or 13 inches. That was really cool. But yeah, that's what I draw. Good job, Storm. Hope you'll improve, man. Oh, interesting second entry. Woo. Yeah, chapter 6. Yes, sir. I didn't follow the 180 rule entirely. This chapter has my strengths and weaknesses exposed. I appreciate the feedback. No problem, man. Yeah, I will admit I definitely have been working hard on these issues. It's been a few months. I get you. Nice chapter. Good job. I appreciate it. Haha. These are some really good pieces. It's my time to shine. Rojo Kova. Yes, you are ready. Again, for everybody out there that is watching me right now, thank you so much. Please, like this video. That helps out with the algorithm. Hold on, let me do this real quick. All right. Again, everybody out there that's reading or watching this with me, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Please, like this video. Leave a comment, in the chat or down below if you're watching this after the fact. Let me know if you like this, if you like me to do anything else. Or if you want me to read your comic, then please, send it to me either through a DM on Twitter or on Instagram. Follow me so that way you can do that. And, send me a link. And I try to read 3 comics every Friday between 4 and 6. I currently have 1 comic for next week. So the next 2 people that send me a comic, I will read that for, next week. But yeah. We're going to go to this next person. This is the Rojo Kova. This dude, let me look at this real quick. All right. He says his website is now live. All right. I think that's where we're about to go to. We're going to look at Avoc Comics. All right. This is the next one. Bam. All right. So, first off, I would just say I think that your art style is very simplistic. It reminds me of a lot of, like, I'm not saying this to insult you, so please, just take it. But it reminds me of like kid books that I've seen in like libraries, which, if that's what you're going for, kudos to you. You've done a very good job. I think the more you draw, I think you'll get better, like I've been saying for everybody. Some anatomy issues for sure. But I like the colors as well. I think that, these colors definitely are vibrant. This particular color scheme for this character, I've never actually seen, so I like that. He seems like he's about to punch somebody in the face. He's like, take this, it's time to go. So, I mean, I like that a lot. That's cool. Let's go to the next one. He or she, I'm not sure exactly what gender you are, so I'm sorry. But, I like this outline. I think that's cool. I like this, your style is showing me that you have a basis. But, you just need to grow upon it. Have you ever seen One, the creator of One Punch Man? His art style, this is what this particular picture reminds me of. His art style is very sketchy and simplistic like this, but if you look at the first chapter of One Punch Man that he drew to currently, or even Mob Psycho 100, like his art style just got better as he went. Like it's still very sketchy and not nearly as good as like Yusuke Murata, for example, but I mean, you could still see that like he was coming into his own style, and it was working for him as well. So I would say what you're doing right now shows me that you have the beginnings of a style. Let me look at this. I like this, or that one picture that I just saw. This is a video of him drawing a comic. This one panel right here, yeah, I like that spot black. I like that a lot. I think that looks cool. I think there's some things that you could have done to this page to make it look better, but we'll get to that in a few seconds. So all right, this is his comic. Again, the link is in the description below. This is from Rojo Kova. So we're gonna get into it. This is Bam of the Last Hero on Earth, Chapter 1. All right, Chapter 1. Looks like he had a lot of other chapters as well. So you guys can see that. Give me a second. I'm actually going to turn this off for a second. I want to see exactly how long this is, so that way I know. Okay, alright, so I'm going to try to read this entire thing without interrupting, because we only got like 20 more minutes left. And then after that, I'll talk about, everything else that, I would say, like, to improve it. Again, for everybody out there that, wants to get better at comics, or at least have a starting point, definitely check out this right here. This is the 4-step guide to creating comics. This is something I came up with a while ago. I just put it out. It's $5, 40 pages, a bunch of tips and tricks. It goes through 4 different steps. I've actually started making a YouTube video series on my YouTube that you can check it out if you want to have that as a substitute. But you get a lot of information if you just buy the book. If you look at the videos and also buy the book, then it'll feed off of each other. So, food for thought. All right, let's do this. This is Good Morning Planet Earth. For decades, we have the Coalition of Heroes. We, the Coalition of Heroes, have tried our best to maintain peace, but it seems that you people have taken us for granted. We've conformed to your laws, registered our heroes. Hell, we even paid for damages to cities destroyed by God, like enemies that we saved from Earth. And still, not enough. So we, all the heroes, have come together and decided that we will leave Earth for good. God bless you all. Superior out. I just want to talk about that one thing. I think that it is awesome that he's just like, you know what? No. Out. I'm mic drop. Like, I thought that was awesome. He's like, screw you guys. I do not care. You guys keep on asking for this and that and this and that, and I'm doing everything, but you guys don't care, so deuces, I'm out of here. I thought that was cool. Hold on, let me go back. No. Alright. Okay. That was a scene just 2 days ago from the leader of the Coalition of Heroes, Superion. Now, we're going live with Hank Wallace, who is at the COH Aero field with all the Earth heroes getting ready to launch off into space. Now, to you, Hank. Thanks, Tamara. Word is the heroes are going to launch off here within the hour. It's unclear where they plan to go. They refuse to tell any governing body. Seems like they're serious about cutting ties to Earth. Well, there you have it. They have lifted off. Now the question still remains. How's the world going to adjust to this change? Aww. After the COH left, the world wasn't the same. First, it started with once friendly countries starting to war again to regain forgotten hierarchies. The crime rates rose tenfold. The law enforcement was drowning. Crime syndicates became more organized and took over most inner cities. Pretty much everything went to crap. I'm not gonna curse on my live. Because, hopefully there will be children that watch this in the future. And, I want to be a good influence. So, yeah. 10 years later, City Library. Oh, man. They just live in the library? Oh, damn. All right. Well, I don't consider damn that much of a curse word, so that's why I say that. But he's, damn. And then he pulls on something. I'm not sure exactly what that is. And then he's like, okay. Dang, man. What? We're out of food, bro. Hopefully this is enough to get a good amount of money. Yeah, for real. That old fool Jamie been trying to finesse us for this medal. Man, I'm getting tired of this crap. Pushing these carts, we need to find different ways to get money. Preferably something that doesn't have us dragging around metal. Well, I mean, not really any jobs out here for us. We can join the Prism gang and get money for real. June, shut up. I'm messing with you, dude. Jamie's Chop Shop. Hey, yo, Jamie, open up. I know your old ass can see us through those cameras. Damn, June. Chill, man. These little punks again. Hurry up and get in. I don't want one of them prison punks showing up. He's so paranoid. No one's coming to this junkyard. I'll give y'all $50 for the lot of it. Bro, what? $50? That's like 80 pounds of metal right here. You can do better than that. Look here. You either take it or leave it. This ain't no damn democracy. Fine, man. This some... What was that? I said bull. Nothing. He said thanks. Now we're about to head to the market. I rewatched that Coalition of Heroes doc the other day. Man, those guys were dope. Wish they were still here, huh? Those guys are quitters. They just dipped out. Bro, they didn't even have a choice. We pretty much pushed them away with all the political crap. Whatever, those dudes sucked. All I know is things would be better if there was a hero around. Well, there isn't, so give it a rest already. After the departure of the COH, everyone felt betrayed. The word hero left a bitter taste in most people's mouths. Traitor? Damn. How much you got left? Like $1, maybe. Yeah, same. That's it? Yep, gotta make it last. We should start heading back to the crib before it gets dark. True, I don't want to run into any of those Prism dudes. No, but Superion was a beast in that documentary. He was cracking kooks' craniums. Don't know why you still watch those docs and read them books, man. Newsflash. Wymond. Superion is gone. All of them are gone. If they were so dope, they wouldn't have took off. They left us here with everything worse than before. They showed up. Now we have to suffer the world. The world's gone to hell thanks to them. It's not their fault we pushed them away with all the protests and laws that put so many restrictions on their jobs. Look, whatever, I don't care. Just enough with the hero talk. Yo, I'm sauced up. Let's go to Madame Emily's. Make this a better night. Hell yeah. They got a new group of chicks. Some fine as hell. Okay. Alright, I'm going to stop here for a second. I would say one of the things that is really difficult right now to read this comic is just the way everything's spaced out. Like within the speech bubble. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just because I've been talking for the last 2 hours. But I mean, it's just difficult to read. So I would, moving forward, try to figure out something that makes that a little bit easier to see. I would download either Anime Ace or CC Wild Words for the font, because that would probably look a little bit better. But yeah, just food for thought. Where was I? Okay. What the hell? I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there. You damn dirty bum. I know how much there's threads cost me. Wait, you know how much these threads cost me? Oh God. Watch out. What the? Get your bum ass over here. Crack. Oh, jeez. Jeez. They're gonna kill him. We gotta go now. We have to stop them, June. No, we don't, Wyman. Please, bro, we gotta go while we can. No, I can't. I can't do that. Crap. Hey, stop it. Oh, jeez, that dude's eyes swole up immediately. Oh, my God. Hey, stop it. He's had enough. Y'all don't have to do that to him. Shut your ass up. Wyman. Oh, crap. I'm sorry. Just the way this was... portrayed, just I thought it was funny. Alright, so they get beat like crazy. This dude, I guess, is dead. He's like, dunk, wham. So you're just gonna leave him? Maya, relax, please. Bam. Okay, so I'm confused. I guess this is a memory? So, well, there you have it. They have lifted off. Now the question still remains. How's the world going to adjust to this change? Wyman, pick him up. And then you're just getting beat. Oh, jeez. June! Get off me! And then he jumps up. He jumps up in the weirdest way possible. Like, then he punches him. Okay. Oh, dude. I let him go. Wyman. Yo, he's flying. What the hell? Oh, okay, so he's flying. Oh, okay. Alright, that makes a little bit more sense. It's like, what the hell? And then he punches them. Oh, man, it made... Their heads exploded. They exploded. This dude killed... Like, jeez. Boom. Alright, so he's... Oh, okay, so he just... I'm gonna kill you, freak. Wyman, watch out. And then he tries to get stabbed. I like the censoring that you did to yourself. He says, oh, crap. He says, oh, look, man. We wasn't feeling to kill the bum or y'all. Just rough you up and dip, I swear. Okay, so that dude is clearly lying because that bum is probably dead right now. One. And two, that's a knife. He tried to stab him with enough force to make the knife bend. Like, I mean, that's not, hey, I was just trying to, rough you guys up. Like, I get it, he's, gang member, so, I get that, he's lying right there, but whatever. Alright, and then, oh, jeez, this dude does kill him. Like, oh, God. Like, he just, like, he shoved this dude's head through a brick wall. Like, I mean, he's gotta be dead. Like, they're back. The supers are back. The old man is running away because he's terrified of this dude being superpowered. And then he's like, all right, Wyman, let's go home. And then he puts him in the crate, and then they go. It's like, and just like that, chapter 1 is finally out. Hope y'all enjoyed. Now back to work. All right. So first off, I got like 12 minutes left, so I'm going to try to go through this a little bit quicker. I apologize for... taking so much time on a few of those comics. I felt like I need a timer, so maybe in the future I'll, have a timer to, break up, every time I read these comics and give equal time to everybody. But, just to go over everything that I, saw. The first thing I would say is the fact that you're doing the comic already puts you above a lot of people that have an idea that want to do a comic that aren't doing the comic. With that said, the art could use some more, help. I think that, this is definitely a good starting point. I feel like there's some details that you're adding, like with the hair and, like, even, like, the shading and, like, the cross-hatching and stuff. Like, that is all cool. And as you get better with anatomy, and, facial expressions, and, line widths, and all that other stuff, like, that would just, make you better as you continue drawing. So, first piece of advice, just keep drawing, because you'll get better. But while you're drawing, this is also for everybody out there, while you're drawing, try new things. Because even though you're probably not going to land it as perfectly as you want, the fact that you tried it means that you've at least learned the mechanics, or at least a little bit of the mechanics. You've put your hat in the race, like you've done something to make it at least show the audience like, hey, I'm trying to, get better. I'm trying to, try these different angles, these different poses and all sorts of stuff. So I would definitely try different things to make everything look cooler. For instance, like with this ship, for example, I get that ships are very difficult to draw. There's a lot of detail and everything, but you could have, had the angle of these ships, like, maybe, you're looking at a ship from, a 3/4 view or something like that. So you can show maybe a close-up of the ship with two ships in the background. So that way you only detail one, but, you, as the reader, are realizing, okay, well, this is, these are three ships and they all look the same. Same thing with the spaceships as well. I like that Earth, but always try to keep in mind, how can I make this look better? How can I make it stand out a little more? Earth has an atmosphere around it. It has an ozone layer. It has something that makes it glow. Obviously it's the sun, I guess. But, you want to show, like, something to make it look like the planet Earth. Something to make it stand out a little bit more. Also, there's a lot of stars. There's a crap ton of stars. Like, I would have, maybe not had that many. I get what you're going for. You're going for space, and maybe there's a lot of galaxies around or whatever. But less is more. So keep that in mind as well. When it comes to like this TV, I would have maybe had more of a white outline around him because the black blends in too much with the gradient. So he gets lost, and you're not really sure exactly what you're seeing at first glance. Backgrounds, obviously, I talked about that. If you get better with perspective, you'll get a lot better for sure. I think these cars, I like the attempts of these cars. Cars are hard to draw, so, you did a really good attempt. I would have tried to make the fire or, trash around it or, something else look a little bit more detailed, so that way, it just comes off as, hey, this is a dire place. Like, for instance, this city library, this is a really awesome panel. I mean, there's some things that could change, for example, like, there's so much graffiti that, like, it kind of makes it difficult to see the structure of the building, but you did it well enough to where it makes me want to look at this panel a little bit more to see everything that's happening in it. I don't know what this is. I assume this is a cart that's turned upside down or something, but I would just add, little things in the background that could have the same type of effect as so much graffiti. So, for instance, you have graffiti on all these pillars. You didn't necessarily need a lot of more graffiti on the background, like on this wall or something. Maybe you have it like on one wall or, whatever. But now you can add trash, like all on the ground. Like have like maybe a trash can that's upside down. There's trash everywhere. Or you can have like an abandoned car. You can have a bicycle without wheels. You can have certain things to just like, hint at, hey, this is a bad area. Not just graffiti, because the graffiti is, just being real, it's probably the easiest way to do it. Just because you're just, drawing over the structure. But, yeah. Again, perspective, that definitely would help with your backgrounds. But I do like the atmosphere. It definitely makes you feel for these characters. Like, what happened? Like, obviously, what happened. Like, the supers left and, crime took over. But, it's cool to show that, like, he is... like in his normal day-to-day life, this is, what it is. They live in a library, him and, his friend, and, yeah. However, this was really confusing. These two panels were very, very confusing. I did not know what this was until they said it. He was looking for food. Like, this is a lever. So show whatever machine that lever is attached to. Show him doing it, like actually show him doing it, not just like a close-up of the fist. Because that just confuses everybody that's reading it. Like, what is this? Like, I can't even find that particular lever in any other panel. So I'm not sure what he went to even try to get food. So, I mean, stuff like that. I said this in a few other, comics as well. Pull back, show the background. I like that you pull back right here, but you could pull back a little bit more and showed everything inside this room, or maybe make this panel a little bit bigger. Yeah, I like his face. I think, this is, again, like the spot blacks that you're using, like with his hair and like, under his chin, like that shadow. I think it makes it stand out, and it shows me that you have a style in your head, or at least it's starting to form, at least. I think you're not quite there yet, but, it's starting to form for sure. I like that they're getting the aluminum foil, and, this is, again, like, you're just showing their mundane life. Maybe not aluminum foil, but it looks like aluminum foil to me, because it's just rolled up. I know it's metal, but I get that, yeah, I like that they have a slow period where they're talking to each other about, like, what's going on, about the Prism gang, and, like, kind of hinting at, certain things, like with the supers leaving and all that. But this entire portion, the backgrounds, like you have no backgrounds in these panels, which are, that's okay. I get that. But because, it's just going back and forth, they're talking. But, I mean, this background should have looked a little bit better, just to, like, set them inside of that area. Also, the 180 rule. For instance, in this panel right here, if he's holding that right here, this is his right arm, this is his left arm. This is his right arm, and he's looking to the right. To the right, there's no one to him right here. So that's what I mean by the 180 rule. I mean, he should have been either looking that way, or he should have been over here. So, I mean, there's certain things like that I would keep in mind. Or you could have, switched them right here, so that way, it matches up in the latter panels as well. So, I've already talked about backgrounds, and anatomy. I like that it's showing that they have a really rough life in this post, no more superhero world. The arrows, that's something that you should always try to avoid whenever you're doing a comic. Just because, A, it doesn't really look professional. B, it could confuse, the reader even more, just trying to figure out, like, why is this arrow there? Obviously, the arrow is there to point to the next panel, but, I mean, there's better ways of doing that. So, yeah. And when it comes to this particular layout, where you have two panels, 1, 2, and then this, that particular layout, you should never do whenever you're creating a comic that reads left to right. If you were creating a comic that reads right to left, then, it would make a little bit more sense, because you're looking at this one panel, and then you can go to this panel, and then you go to that one. But if you're going to do that layout at all, you would just switch it. Have this one panel right here, and then have these two over here. So that way, you don't have to put the arrows pointing to wherever you need to read. But yeah, that can confuse people. The tones, like this tone right here, that kind of, it doesn't blend in with his shirt, but it does blend in with his shirt. It's the same, like, hue, or, like, same type of gray. How can I say this? It's the same opacity level is what it, like, if I was looking at this from afar, his shirt would blend in perfectly with the background, because they're both technically gray. I mean, so either make the background darker, take away the backgrounds, or change his shirt, or add more detail to the shirt. Just have something to differentiate the characters from the background. Like, that's something that you should do. I like this conversation. I thought this was cool. I like the little bit of color as well. If you're gonna do something like that, though, I would try to incorporate that throughout the entire comic. I know Oblivion Rouge, Pop Soule Fall, he does this a lot, and he does it brilliantly. He incorporates color with his comic as well. Other than the speech bubbles and the anatomy and backgrounds and stuff that I was saying, I initially like the idea. I like the setup for this comic. I think it reminded me first of like the Invincibles, and how they couldn't be super anymore. They had to all go undercover. But the fact that they're all leaving, I think that's really cool, and I like the state that the world is in. It lines up everything, pretty well. I would say that, you should work, obviously, I've been saying this for pretty much every page, work on anatomy, maybe change up different angles and pull back a little bit more, because it would make things like this punch a little more epic, or him running a little more epic. If you also work on perspective, then, you could have the gang in the background right here and just have this be one panel. Like, there are certain things that you could do for laying out your comic that I think would definitely help for sure. So always work on thumbnails. Whenever you do a thumbnail, the reason why they're there is to do several different versions of those thumbnails. So that way you can figure out exactly what's the best angle, what's the, easiest, clearest way to, tell this story, so that way no one's confused. But yeah, overall, there are certain things that definitely could be improved, like everything I was saying. But overall, I like this comic. I think I think the fact that he becomes a superhero at the end, that's a pretty normal, cliche thing that a lot of superhero comics have. Like, they'll have them in the very end, like, they'll pop up, and that's cool. Something's up with these focus lines, that some of these are like cross hatching. Like, I'm not sure exactly how you did these focus lines, but I would work on that a little bit more. Yeah, and action, I like that it's simple enough to see, but again, try different things, try different angles. Push and pull every single, pose to make it look a little bit more epic. Yeah. Like, for instance, like this, for example, like, this shows the attempt that you were trying to do something. Like, if you had this same level of, attemptness, but for, like, this page right here, this page, even though your art style doesn't look as tight as it could be yet, it definitely would have shown you putting in more effort for every single hit that he did. So I would because that's supposed to be a really cool page. Like, you want them to be like, oh man, he just got his powers. Like, he's beating these bullies up. They just tried to kill this one man. So now we're gonna make this head. This dude's head explode. No! So, you want all of those panels to look really, really cool. So, just try to, add the same type of level of energy that you're putting in, certain panels to, like, every panel that you do. Again, when it comes to anatomy, his arms are really, really long. So, yeah. But you'll learn all of that as you, get better. This comic is... you can read it right now with the in the links in the description. This is from the Rojo Kova, and this comic was called Bam, the Last Hero on Earth. There you go, guys. Definitely go check it out if you want to read it more. There's more comics that are going to be coming that I'm going to be reading next week. If you guys want me to read your comic, please send it to me, DM, Instagram, or Twitter. Also follow me so that way you can do that as well. I'm about to read the comments in a few seconds, but I'm trying to think. Is there any other announcement I want to say? Like this video if you guys haven't already. And also, check out Volume 3 of Hammer. You guys can see this inside of Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, Walmart. I know that Volume 1 and 2, I've seen these in Walmart. People have sent pictures, and that's really cool. But I have not seen Volume 3 yet. So if you see Volume 3 in any Walmart, please send me a picture. That'd be great. But, you can order them on Amazon or the Saturday AM website. You can actually order the majority of our books on Amazon or Saturday AM website, Quarto's website, all that. There's links in the description below, so that way you guys can, check that out. But, what else? What was I gonna say? I also have consultations. I said this in the beginning of the video. For everybody out there that wants to talk to me or get any advice, one-on-one, for 1 hour, I only have 5 of these left, and it's $75. If you want to talk to me for 30 minutes, it's going to be $50. That $50 tier one is probably going to stay $50, because right after this $75 tier is going to go up to $100 for the 1 hour. So, that way you'll get more bang for your buck. Like, it'll actually be half the time, so half the price. It would make a little more sense. Whereas right now, if you want to just, get a little bit more of a discount, buying a 1 hour, consultation for $75, which is $25 more than just $30, it makes a little bit more sense to me to do that. But whatever you guys want to do, if you guys want me to have a consultation with you, that right now, they're all available. I think there's 20 of the $50 consultations. So if you guys, that'll run out at some point. So whenever that runs out, it's going to probably go up to 75 at some point. But yeah, I'm probably going to, I want to keep it for a little bit. So maybe after these 20, I'll keep it and, have another 20 that are 50. We'll see what happens. But, just keep that in mind. This is the time to get it if you want them. Anything else I want to say? Oh, there's also the 4-step guide. If you guys want to, learn how to, have some type of starting point, definitely go check that out. In the links below, there are a lot of links. In the description below, there are a lot of links. And, you guys can check that out. It's $5, 40 pages long, a bunch of tips and tricks. Very cool. Alright, so I'm going to read these comments, and then I'm going to call it quits for the day. I've gone over by 7 minutes. Jeez. Alright, the Rojo Kova said, "It's my time to shine." That was the last one. Alright, Bobby Smitty says, "Hammer Volume 3 feels like watching an animated cartoon. Your expressiveness is some of the best I've seen in any comic or manga." Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. When I first started drawing Hammer, I had it in color, and I had it that way because I wanted it to feel like a cartoony manga. And I thought that I was doing a pretty good job, but, like Antonio said, coloring every chapter is very tiresome. So I stopped that, around Volume 2, or the second arc, when I was getting it published inside of the magazines. But, all of that is currently, inside of Volume 3, the second arc. And, I really wanted it to be a really fun... I want Hammer in general to just be a really fun comic that you can escape, the world that you're in and just, say, oh, wow, this is really cool. Just get sucked into the book, just like how Stuff gets sucked into the book. So, I appreciate you liking that comic very... I really do appreciate it very much. Please go to Goodreads or Amazon and leave a review if you haven't already, because that just helps out with... everything. Same thing for all of our other books as well. If you haven't left a review for any of those, then, please do so if you liked them. An honest review. If there's something that you would like me to improve on, or, something that you wanted to see more of. I think there was one comment that I read. I'm not sure if it was you, actually, Bobby Smitty, but somebody wanted me to actually have more color inside of my volumes because, luckily, these particular volumes have color in them. Hold on. They're majority black and white, but these colors, there are colored pages within each of these books. And, maybe in the future I'll, have more color. But that was one suggestion that somebody had inside of one of the reviews. And, I think whenever I can read those reviews and, just try to soak up whatever my audience wants to see from me, I can in turn do that in the next book or the next couple of books or, whatever. So if you guys want to see anything else inside of that. I can take it under consideration at least. But I would still love to have a review from you, from anybody that likes Hammer. So thank you very much if you have written a review. But if you haven't, then that would be great. Neat, was able to make it to the stream. T. Ballin, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Bobby Smitty says kids book sales so good. Captain Underpants and Dogland. Yes, they do. Kids books. Like, especially from Dave Pilkey. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he has, what was his annual salary? It was like, I think, $7 million? Or that was his net worth, or something like that. $7 million. Which, I mean, compared to the mangaka that, I want to be, like, on par with, like, Masashi Kishimoto and Akira Toriyama and all of them, like, I mean, I'm really far away from Dave Pilkey, so in order to get to that level, I need to be better. I think in the future I'll get to that point, but it's just gonna take a long time. But yeah, kids books definitely do make a lot of money, but it also kind of depends on what that series is. How many successes you've had in the past from that series or book. There's a lot of things that go into, being a success. Like, it's not just, hey, I put out this comic, it's a kid's comic, so now there you go. Like, there's a lot of things that, are involved with that. We will leave Earth for good. Yes. Yes, that's what it is. I dig the lens distortion on some of these panels. Reminds me of the manga Ping Pong a little. Good job to the author. Love the background work, not just characters floating in white space all the time. I can definitely see the author improving over time. Maybe kept him in the left panel to adhere to the 180 rule. Alright, so these are all just advices and certain things that they're telling the author of that comic. I'm here for all the feedback for sure. Just know my art improves per chapter. The Rojo Kova. Yes, I have seen a few of your other chapters, just from scrolling through your Instagram. And, yeah, I agree. The more you draw, the better you're going to get. So, definitely keep on drawing. Everybody out there that enjoyed what you saw, go check him out. Because I think he had, at least 4 chapters. So, you got this, dude. All right, epic. The Rojo Kova is your IG, is your name. Yes, good submissions. Thanks for today's stream, everyone. Seeing all the work here inspires me greatly. Yes, again, everybody out there that, wants to send me a comment so they can get some feedback from me, please do so. I would, love to talk about, comics, different comics. Because if not, then I'm just going to be reading my own from the past, which I don't mind doing either. But, this show works only because of you guys. Hopefully I'll grow the show to having more than 20 and then 30 and then 50 and then 60 and then 100 and then hopefully 1,000 and then 2,000 and then more and more watchers will eventually come as this grows. But it's not going to happen overnight, and it's going to take a while. But all of that to say is having you guys here definitely means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Please like this video if you are if you enjoy this at all, or if you just want to, see this later on. I'm going to be breaking up these videos and putting them out throughout the week. And hopefully, by the end of next week, I'll be done with Volume 4 entirely. And then the week after that, I intend on working on some other videos, like skits and stuff. So I can't wait to put those out. I think that's going to be really funny. I've been working on them in my head for a long time, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But, yeah, thanks again, everybody out there. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy your St. Paddy's Day. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks again. I really appreciate it. You guys rock. So, deuces.